Hey, it's Troyia Monay back to y'all with another video. Today's video is super exciting. As always, you guys, I am so excited for today's video. How to price your inventory is probably one of my #1 asked about questions of all time, you guys. I always get this question, whether it be on a coaching call, whether it be you guys asking during Wind Down Wednesday. I always get this question as to how to go through and price your inventory. And granted, I already have a video on this, but I definitely wanted to do more of an updated strategy and updated method that I use in order to price my inventory. Mind you guys, granted, that same strategy and that same method still works today. And I'll have it linked here above if you guys wanted to go through and check out that previous video. But this video right here, y'all, it is going to be jam-packed with a lot of information. And if you truly need help with strategizing your financial plans and really just making sure that you are dominating your profits and dominating your revenue when it comes to your overall sales goal, you want to make sure you stay tuned for this whole video. I'm going to be sharing some Shopify apps with you guys. I'm going to be sharing a bunch of information. I have my whiteboard here. In a second, we're going to dive into the whiteboard. We're going to be writing out how to go through and price your inventory. So you guys want to make sure that you stay tuned for this whole video. But before you do, don't forget to rate, comment, like, and subscribe. Alright, you guys, so when it comes to pricing your inventory, the first thing that you really have to do is you have to have a clear indication as to where your business stands financially. You have to understand your business's revenue. You have to understand your profits, your markups, your markdowns, your profit margins. We'll get into what those things mean in a little bit as well, you guys. But you have to holistically understand where your business stands financially, you guys. And over the last few months, I've been using a very dope app on Shopify called Beprofit. And if you don't have the app Beprofit, I want you to download it after you watch this video, y'all. This app has been a lifesaver for me when it comes to really just measuring my business's overall financials and just making sure that I am on track, you know, financially, with making sure that my business goals are met. So what Beprofit is, it is a Shopify app that is going to allow you to measure and keep track of your business's overall profit. So Beprofit, you guys, is one of Shopify's most accurate financial calculators. And the reason why this app is so important to me, especially as a business coach, is oftentimes a lot of you guys are wondering, should I be, you know, interested in the $79 plan with Shopify, or should I go through and keep the $29 plan with Shopify? And my answer is really go through and just measure what type of plan you are looking for when it comes to Shopify. Oftentimes, a lot of us want to switch to that $79 plan because of the profit analytics and because of the financial analytics that come with the higher paid plan. But in my opinion, you guys, I really recommend just sticking with the $29 plan with Shopify, downloading Beprofit, using one of their paid apps, and really just going through and using that more so as a financial tracker, you guys. You do not have to go out there and waste money on the $79 a month plan. Just go through and use Beprofit, and we'll get into a lot of their plans later, because guess what, y'all? Free $99 plan is available there, but we'll get into plans in just a second. So Beprofit has a data analytics reporting dashboard to help you track your business's metrics, lifetime profit, and even expenses, you guys. So its profit dashboard has financial profit calculator that is going to give you financial reporting charts that are definitely going to help you make smarter decisions to optimize your store, improve your business's profits, and definitely improve your business's overall sales, you guys. And who want that? Who does not want their sales to be improved just simply by using an app that's going to give you so much data and so much analytics, just to simply make sure that you are on track with making sure that you are increasing your business's bottom line? That is what we want as business owners, is to make sure our business's bottom line is chef's kiss, superb, right? So I recommend, after you watch this entire video, if you have not downloaded Beprofit on the back end of your Shopify, stop what you're doing after you watch this video and make sure that you integrate this here. I'll have all details regarding Beprofit linked down below, and I want to send a warm virtual hug to them for sponsoring today's video. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and hop right on in. How to price your inventory. I have my whiteboard here for you guys. Sorry about the squeaking. I have my whiteboard here, and we're going to hop into the whiteboard in a second. I'm going to actually demonstrate me pricing an actual real piece of inventory for you guys. But before we do that, I really wanted to make sure I shared some basic definitions with you guys. Those of you guys who may be beginners, you're just getting your feet wet within this whole business industry, and you may not know what these definitions mean or these terms mean, so I wanted to make sure that I clarify those first. If you've been watching me for some time, you know I always got my laptop here full with notes. So if you guys see me looking back and forth down when it comes to these definitions, that is why. I want to make sure I'm explaining everything as thorough as possible. So the first one is going to be revenue. So revenue is the total amount of income generated by sales, you guys. So usually, let's say a customer goes onto your store and let's say that their order is $75. That is going to be your revenue. $75 would be your revenue. That $75 may be including taxes. That $75 could be including shipping. That entire amount of money is not necessarily yours, is what I want to say when it comes to revenue. It is the total amount of income generated by sales. It usually includes taxes, shipping, some other things there as well. So that is what revenue is. It is the total amount of income. Your profit is almost kind of the opposite of that, you guys. So your profit is the amount of money that you actually earned. So let's say I am selling this t-shirt right here, this top. Let's say I purchased it wholesale for $5. And let's say I went through and I sold the top for $15. So I bought it $5 wholesale and then I sold it for $15. That means that my revenue is $10. That's the amount of money that I earned, right? But at the same time, your profit could be excluding some different things as well. So if you guys have overhead costs, if you have employees, if you have any type of other businesses expenses, you want to take that out of your overall revenue as well. And then whatever is left over is going to be your profit. That's the amount of money that you went through and earned. And all of this will make sense during our demonstration in a second, you guys. So this excludes the wholesale price. This excludes taxes. This excludes your shipping fee or your shipping charge. So it is the total amount of money that you made, the total amount of money that you are taking home, you guys. Everything else is excluded there, you guys. Next thing I want to really mention is markup. Markup is very important for you guys to understand what a markup is. So your markup is a percentage and or dollar amount that is added to an actual item in order for you to get the actual selling price. So like this same exact definition or example that I shared with you guys earlier, if I'm selling this top for $15 and then I purchased it for $5, the markup was about $10. And then you want to go through and use some type of profit calculator. We'll get into that in a second. So you guys can make sure that you know exactly what that markup percentage is. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So your markup is going to be used to determine the final profit price. This is how much you are going to increase the price overall from what you actually paid for it. So this is definitely going to allow you guys to get a better understanding as to how to go through and price your inventory. Granted, the markup. This is how we go through and get the profit is due to the actual markup of that item. After that is going to be your profit margin. It is going to be a measure of the company's total earnings. You can do it, you know, granted product by product, or you can do it total, granted how much your company is going through and generating, like holistically. So it's the total amount of money that is left after, like we talked about earlier, expenses and all the different other things that are taken away from your overall revenue. So you guys, those are quick definitions. We talked about revenue, profit, markup, and then your overall profit margin. So we're gonna hop over into the whiteboard. I'm super excited for this part so I can really show you guys how I even go through and price out my inventory. All right, you guys, so welcome to the whiteboard. We're gonna go ahead and dive right on in just a second. But before we do, is something very important that I really want you guys to note and to take consideration of. One of my biggest pieces of advice when it comes to pricing your inventory is to always price your inventory before you go through and purchase it. As crazy as that may sound, it is very beneficial tactic, and I think that is really great tip and trick for you guys to do as well. So before you even purchase that piece of inventory, make sure that it makes sense financially for your business before you go through and purchase it. I remember when I first started my business, I would go through and I would just buy inventory, and when I got it and then I priced it, I was like, dang, this actually, you know, doesn't, you know, make sense with my business's bottom line. I don't think that this is going to generate any revenue because of how I have to go through and price the item in order for me to make profit. So you guys really want to make sure that you price every single item before you actually go through and purchase it, to make sure that it makes sense with your business's overall financial goals. All right, y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right on in. I have a really great example that I'm going to be sharing with you guys as well, that is definitely going to make a lot more sense to you guys if you are having difficulties when it comes to pricing your inventory. So I like to work based on examples. So let's say, let me jump over here to my inventory stash. Let's say I am let's grab this top for example. All right, cool. So we have a top here. So let's say we are going through and we are visiting our vendor. We're in person. Let's say we're in the LA Fashion District and our vendor has this top, right? And let's say we want to go through and we only want to purchase one pack. We're a new business owner. We don't want to go through and purchase multiple packs of anything just yet. We just want to go through and purchase one pack. One pack usually means 2, 2, 2, which is 2 small, 2 medium, and 2 large, equaling 6 total products, you guys. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to write down our quantity. So we know that our quantity is going to be 6. So we're going to say quantity. And that is 2, 2, 2 equals 6. So that's going to give us 6 products total. I hope you guys can go through and see that. I think my camera might be a little bit too low, but it just says quantity 2, 2, 2 and 6. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we are just ordering just one pack. So we're just going to put one pack. Just one pack. All right, so we know that we want to go through and we just want to purchase one pack. Let's say we're purchasing this top from our vendor and their wholesale price is $15. So we know that our wholesale price is going to be about $15. So wholesale equals $15. So we're purchasing one pack, 2, 2, 2 at $15 wholesale. So I know since I'm purchasing $15 and I'm purchasing one pack, that is going to give me a total of, $90. So I know that it's going to cost me around $90 in order for me to get one pack of those tops at $15 a piece, right? But then my vendor says, okay, Troyia, I went through and I measured your actual shipment and it looks like you have a shipping fee of $20. So we have to go through and make sure that we are reimbursing ourselves as business owners and reimbursing our business for that shipping cost as well. If you are just going through and pricing your inventory based upon the wholesale price and you're not going through and incorporating that shipping fee either, you are doing your business a huge disservice. You want to make sure that you make back every single dollar that you spend, right? So we know that shipping, we have a shipping fee from our vendor of, let's say it is $20. So now I'm like, okay, I went through and it was $90, but then you added a $20 shipping fee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this $20 into the 6. So that way I can make sure that I am increasing the overall wholesale price in order to make sure that I am getting my money back as far as the shipping rate is concerned. So I'm going to take the $20 and I'm going to divide it by 6. So 20 divided by 6, that is going to give me $3.33. Which means instead of my wholesale price being $15 now, I have to add $3.33 in order for me to get paid back the $20 that I spent on shipping. So that is why I tell you guys it's so important to price your inventory before you purchase it. Because let's say your actual price range when it comes to purchasing your inventory, let's say you want your price range to be anywhere between no more than maybe $20. You don't want to purchase any inventory that's over $20, but then you include the shipping fee and it's way over. Usually we don't sometimes know the shipping fee until after we purchase the inventory, but it's very important to make sure that you add on a couple of dollars to that wholesale price so that way you know that that actual wholesale price is going to be a little bit more up there when it comes to the overall grand total, you guys. So we know that it's going to be $3.33. So instead of having the wholesale price be $15 now, it's actually, you guys, going to be $18.33. That's our new wholesale price. Crazy, I know. You have to make sure that you guys include those things as well. You always want to make sure that you include the price you paid for shipping within each product so that way you get reimbursed for those shipping fees. All right, so we want to make sure that we know what our markup is. We already went through and we talked about markup. Markup is the percentage that we are marking the product up in order to come up with the actual product's price, you guys. And this has been one of my #1 asked questions, you guys, is how do you go through and find this app? It is the cost margin app, you guys. This is the app that I use in order to find my markup, in order to find my profit margin, in order to price my inventory. And yes, on my previous video, the icon has changed. That is probably the most #1 asked question in that video. Yes, this is what the app looks like now. As you guys can see here in the corner, this is what it looks like here. And as you guys can see, that is what the app looks like there. It is blue, navy blue, with a white M. So that is the app that you want to go through and use when it comes to pricing out your inventory. So we already talked about what a markup is. The markup is going to be the percentage that we are using in order to come up with our actual product price. The markup. How much are we marking the product up in order to come up with the actual price, you guys? So me personally, I have a markup range. So I know the lowest that I'll go through and mark a product at, and then I know the highest that I'll go through and mark up a product at. And the way that you come up with your your markup range is by really understanding your overall business and your business's financial goals. So are you affordable business? Are you an attainable business? Are you a luxury type of business? According to wherever you want your business to fall financially and how you want to go through and price your inventory determines your actual markup range. So if I know that I want to be more so known as an affordable boutique or an affordable business, I know that I can't really have a super high markup range. But I know if I want to be a luxury brand and I really want to provide very luxury, high-end products, I can have a super high markup range because I know that the way that I'm branding and marketing my business to my target audience, they don't mind spending that amount of money. So you want to make sure that you have some type of product markup range. I highly recommend do not ever having a markup range lower than 120%. You guys have to make sure that you're generating some type of profit. Really make sure you're generating some type of profit, you guys. So I know me personally, I have a markup range of 150% all the way to 250%, which can be quite high. So this is my markup range, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sharing my screen with you guys. I'm gonna start screen recording so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Is I am trying to find price. So I'm on my cost margin app. I'm going to click on where it says margin at the bottom, and I'm going to click on price because we're really trying to figure out what the price of this item is. We know the wholesale price of it, but how much are we actually going to be selling this product for? So we want to find the actual price. So we know the cost is $18.33. That's including that shipping that we're going to get reimbursed for. I know that my markup is 150 at the lowest. So I'm going to just go through and put that in there so I can just see what it potentially could be. Okay, so it's saying at 150% markup, I could go through and offer this product at $45.82. So that's the lowest that I'll sell that item for. If I purchased it wholesale, including the shipping fee, that is the lowest that I'll ever sell that product for, right? Right here. I know the highest that I can go through and sell that product for. Let's go through and put in that 250% is going to be $64.16. So that's the lowest. That $45.82 is the lowest, and right here that $64.16 is going to be the highest that we'll sell that product for, you guys. So as long as when I am going through and pricing my product, as long as I am within this range, chef's kiss, I am good to go. I'm going to be generating profit for my business. However, there's a couple other things you want to consider. So let's say we're looking at this top, and I'm looking at it from the vendor, and I'm like, okay, this is a nice top. It has some really good quality to it. It's in good condition. It's actually in really high demand. It's really trendy right now on social media. Granted, I'm going to think about all of those things before I come up with my actual price. If it's amazing quality, it's super trendy, it may be a bestseller on other boutique sites, I might look at my competitors. I'm going to look at my competitors' pricing. I'm going to take a lot of things into consideration before I actually come up with that final price. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this is actually a really, really nice top. It looks pretty good. Okay, we're looking at it. All right, I think that a good price for this top, holistically, granted all of those things, may be $49.99. So granted, that might be my overall price right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right back into my profit calculator because we want to figure out what the markup of that is. All right, so we want to go through and we want to select the margin because we have to figure out what margin that is. We know that it's $18.33 is the cost of the product. We're going to come right here to price because we're going to price it at $49.99. So that's going to give us a markup of $172, 172.7%, you guys. I'm sorry about that. So that is going to be our business's overall markup. And guess what? After that, we can figure out profit. So what we're going to do is we are going to head back over into price. And that is going to show us the price, the markup, and then it's also going to go through and show us the overall cost. But since I know that I went through and I'm purchasing this item at $49 wholesale, I hope you guys can still see this. Let me move the camera up a little bit so you guys can see everything. Perfect. There we go. So we know that the overall price of that item is $49.99. We're going to subtract $18.33 because that's how much we purchased the item at. That's how much we are going through and we are selling the item at. So we want to make sure that we go through and we find our overall profit. So we know that our overall profit is going to be $31.66. So this will be our profit. Granted, like I told you guys, if you have extra expenses or anything like that, you want to take that out as well before you come up with your overall profit in order to make sure you identify what your actual profit margin is. So let's go through and let's do a holistic overview. We know our total revenue. Our total revenue, we're going to do $49.99. We're going to times it by 6 because we have 6 products. That's going to give us a total revenue of $299.94. Because we are selling the product at $49, we have 6 of them. That is going to be our potential revenue. All right. So we also want to figure out what is going to be our potential profit. So we're going to times this by 6 as well. When we times 3166 times 6, that is going to give us a grand total revenue of $189.96. So we know what our revenue is overall. We know what our total profit is overall as well. It's going to be $299.94, actually, not 96. And then we know our total profit is going to be $189.96. And then we know our initial investment. You always make sure that you know what your investment was. How much money did you invest into those products? We only invested $140. So that, you guys, is how I go through and price out inventory. Very, very simple, very, very simplistic way. As you guys can see, granted, when you're purchasing just one pack, you are very limited to the amount of money that you guys can make. However, I do recommend when you are starting out any type of business, I really recommend, really making sure that you have a low quantity amount that you're first starting out, so that way you don't have leftover product that you may not potentially be able to go through and get rid of. You want to test the waters. You want to see what your audience likes. You want to see what they don't like as well, you guys. So hopefully this made a lot more sense. We're going to go through this in just a second overall again. All right, you guys, so let's go through everything again so that way you guys can make sure that this makes sense to you. So we have the overall quantity, 222, 1 pack, 6 pieces total. We purchased them wholesale from our vendor for $15 a piece, giving us a total of $90. 15 times 6 gave us 90. All right, our vendor said, you have a shipping fee of $20. So we're like, okay, it's gonna cost me $20 in order for me to get these products shipped to me. However, I want to get reimbursed for my shipping. So I'm going to divide that by 6, which is going to give me a total of $3.33, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that $3.33 and I'm going to add it to the wholesale price to give me a new wholesale price of $18.33. This is our new wholesale price here, $18.33. After that, I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to think about what I want my business's markup range to be. This is going to vary, you guys, which is why you need a range. You never want to price your products the exact same way. You always want to make sure that you price them in different ways. Granted, the quality, the look, the feel, the demand, the competitors, what your competitors are doing, the trends. You want to make sure that you take a lot of those things into consideration, which is why you have to have a markup range. So I have a markup range of 150% all the way to 250% is what my markup range is. So I know the lowest that I'll sell this garment for is $45.82. I know the highest I'll sell the product for maybe $64.18. Granted, even though that this is my highest markup range, sometimes I even go up above this. I remember just a few weeks ago, I purchased a shirt wholesale for $2.50. And I believe the markup range for that product was around 350%, which I got a crazy amount of profit back from that item, you guys. So don't, feel like you have to stay into this range, but you want to make sure that you have some type of range that you can look forward to actually using. So I know $45 and $64 is going to be a good enough markup range for me. However, granted quality, granted demand, supply and demand, my competitors even, I want to make sure I have competitive prices as well. I know that I want to sell this item for $49.99. That is going to give me a 172.7% markup. So that will be my business's markup for that actual product itself. So coming over here, let me move the camera so you guys can see. All right. So we know that we're selling the item for $49.99. We're going to times that by 6 in order for us to get our total revenue of $294. We're going to subtract $18.33 in order for us to figure out the profit per item, which gave us a profit of $31.66 per piece, which is a pretty decent profit. So we're going to times that also by 6 in order for us to go through and get our overall total profit of $189.96. Our initial investment was $140. Alright, you guys, so that's how you go through and price out your inventory. If you guys would like access to my spreadsheet on how to go through and make this entire thing here look a lot more organized, I would definitely have that link below. My spreadsheet is available for sale as a digital download on my site for only $4.99. For only $4.99, sis, you can go through and make sure that your business's finances is chef's kiss, superb, super organized. So I'll have that link down below if you guys want to go through and purchase my spreadsheet that I personally use in order to keep track of my finances. Also, I'll have more information regarding Beprofit down below to you guys. And don't forget to check out my previous video on how to price out your inventory. If this was helpful for you, give this video a big thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.